Hi everyone, it's Angela here, and today, to celebrate and honour International Women's Day, I want to share with you a story about three women that really impacted my life and really helped me to become the woman that I am today. There is a level of serendipity between these three women because they all came into my life at different times, and I called each of them my mother at each of those times. So I'm going to start with my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. Her name was Angela, and she was a staunch Italian woman. She was actually my namesake, and I loved her dearly. She was raised in an era where women really understood their role, whether we agree with it or not. She played that role very well. You know, she was the submissive wife. She was the submissive daughter, and she played that role because she just didn't know any better. And I guess, you know, for that generation of women, there came a level of sadness that they understood they really wanted to initiate a change in the next generation. My grandmother had to also experience the loss of her daughter, who was my mother. Her daughter passed away, my mum, Maria, when she was only 33 years old. And my grandmother took on the role of our mother when I was only 2, along with my brothers and sisters. My grandmother always talked to me about living your best life and taking opportunities. She understood how much had been robbed from her because of the era that she was raised in, but she also understood how much had been robbed from my mother because of her passing at such a young age. So I was raised with this level of awe and wonder, going out and seeing the world, making the most of everything that came your way, leaving no stone unturned. And this is the qualities that my grandmother instilled in me, because she came from a place of loss and a place of grief, and she wanted a different life for me. Angela, my grandmother, was an incredible woman, and she played an amazing role in our life. But my mother, Maria, even though I don't have any memories or recollections of her at all, because I was only 2 years old when she passed away, still played a massive part in my life. My mum, even though I couldn't see her, was never far from me. She taught me through this level of spirit, if you want to call it a spirit world or the universe. I know people today talk a lot about that, but from a very young age, I really understood that my mother was always around us. I understood that you didn't have to see something to believe in it. And I also learned that you didn't necessarily have to believe in everything that you saw or was visible. So my mother brought a whole new level to my life. My biological mother, who was never walked this earth while I was at an age where I could see her or talk to her, but I never stopped that relationship with her, even though that she was in another place. So that sense of belief, that in fierce mindset that I developed as a young child, to imagine her in our home, imagine her walking through the door, and that level of security that came with that really, helped me to become, a woman that understands you can believe in something even though you can't see it, and believing in things that you can manifest as well. So the third, and I feel one of the most important women that came into my life, was Martha. Martha was our stepmother. I met her when I was 18 years old, and she was part of our life for 25 years before, tragically, she was taken at a very young age as well. Martha brought this level of unconditional love to our family. Even though she wasn't our maternal mother, and there was no bloodline attached to her relationship with us, the unconditional love that she had for us as her stepchildren, and then also for her grandchildren, really I'm still in awe of. Martha taught me that you can get through anything if you can believe in it unconditionally, because she had suffered, some really terrible things in her life as a mother, and she no longer, had her own children in her life, and that's a whole other story altogether. But when Martha came into our life, this really filled a hole for her, and she took this role on, and she was so fierce at it, and I feel like there was this connection between all three of these women in my life that have really helped me to become the woman I am today. My grandmother opening my mind and my eyes to the greater world that there is out there to discover, and always, look at the world with such awe and wonder. My mother, taught me to believe in things even though I couldn't see them, and to understand that the world, there was a connection between the world we see and the afterlife. And then my stepmother Martha, who taught me the most valuable lesson of unconditional love, that no matter what happens in your life, that as long as you can still have hope and love in your life, then you can become whole again. These three women all share an incredible role and bond for me in my life. And I really hope that this story, that I can bring some sort of honor to all three of them today on International Women's Day. And these are stories that I really feel need to be heard, because there are a lot of women who are hurting in this world. There are women that are dealing with loss. There are women that are dealing with situations that have happened that are out of their control. And I hope that my three women that have been like, angels in my life can help you today on International Women's Day. So I really thank you for listening to this video. If you knew one of these women, some of my family, some of my friends may have known one or all of these women, I would love for you to leave a comment. If this story, this video, has helped you in any way or brought a level of understanding to your life in any way, then please leave a comment, because today is all about celebrating women, whether they're still with us or not. It is a day to celebrate all women that have made an impact in our lives. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. From Angela.